This is a Fatal 4 podcast.
Spanish fly! Got it! Oh, MJF able to kick out. Didn't have that left shoulder cover. Was able to shoot it up in the air. Whoa! Look at the fans!
That's the respect by these fans here in Little Rock.
Yeah, they are on their feet here. As they take another look, Ospreay, the Spanish fly, he didn't get all of
it. Welcome to Didn't Get All of It. I am Paul Griffin, and this week on the pod, Smackdown and NXT didn't really give us anything eventful to discuss, and news has sure been quiet this week, at least in the wrestling world. So we're talking about all the exciting stuff from Raw, like Rhea Ripley's return, the Wyatt 6, Drew McIntyre, the world title program, plus a monumental 250th episode of AEW Dynamite. Did it deliver? We'll discuss. But first, joining me, everybody is here tonight, including Pro Wrestling Noah.
I'm going to go see Twisters and 4DX tomorrow, and if the seat doesn't eject me out of the seat and then get sucked into the ceiling, I demand my money back.
That will cause Houston to lose all of its power again. Just that movie coming to Houston.
Yeah, just Twisters coming to Houston. It happened. It's happened before. It'll happen again.
Speaking of Houston people, B-Rob is here.
Your animated description of the experience that you want got me hyped to see that movie.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm so excited.
And also here, the man with an Ed Hardy hat, Cody.
I too would like to get sucked at a movie theater.
You have to be at the back of the theater for that, though.
Or to the far right.
If you're polite.
Speaking of far right,
we know Cody's not far right because he's hosting the show tonight. He's not watching his favorite guys speak.
I was just going to say, Paul, you said that not a whole lot of news in the wrestling world, but there's like some kind of WWE Hall of Famer convention going on right now as we record this. So that might be news.
Well, some of us hope it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. But anyway.
I had so many comments.
Well, we can do a whole podcast about those. But we'll save that for another feed, maybe. Guys, if you're listening to this for the first time, welcome. This is a wrestling podcast. We're going to talk about that. But before we do, make sure you subscribe to Didn't Get All of It wherever you get your podcasts. New shows drop every Friday morning, like today, if you're listening to this on a Friday. And if you're not, it came out on Friday. You know how days work. Also, check out fatal4pod.com. That's fatal, FOUR pod.com for links to all of our social platforms so you can stay up to date with the show. Find access to the Patreon, which gets you into the Discord, which is really cool. A lot of activity going on in there all week. So check that out. You can also find Didn't Get All of It Japan, our spinoff podcast where B-Rob and Kaz and Will talk about Japanese wrestling. It's good way to get your homework in. You guys do a lot of homework sessions too in the Discord.
Yes.
But if you're not following Japan, they do a great job like explaining it to dumb people like myself.
And me, because I'm there to learn as well.
I do feel like we need to clarify for people that might be hesitant to check out that show. It is in English.
That's true.
They do speak
in
English on that podcast. It's just about Japanese wrestling.
What if it was like a Kai and Tai promo and it was all in Japanese, but it had Shane doing English voice for an hour?
No.
Would that be problematic in 2024? Probably. A podcast with subtitles. I'm intrigued.
I think the transcripts are, right?
Talks.
Yeah, the transcripts are, I don't know. I don't like that exists.
Yeah, because they can see the shit that we say.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially the stuff before the record button.
Yeah. If you thought that was bad. Anyway, speaking of bad and not intriguing, we won't be talking about SmackDown. And NXT this week was fairly uneventful, despite the fact that they did have my favorite wrestler on it.
Sean Spears?
Don't say his name or he'll show up here. Unless you want
That would be great.
That would be
really
great.
Yeah.
That would be big for us. We would get a lot of listens. But no, nothing to talk about there, unfortunately. And a huge lack of wrestling news this week. Plenty of real news if you're interested in that. But wrestling news, they took the week off. Unless you care about like Natalya re-signing. Which I know.
I mean,
Do you guys want to talk about Raw?
Sure.
yeah, stuff happened
was-
over there.
Raw was interesting this week. And we'll start with one of the interesting pieces of it before we get sidetracked with the other stuff. Because I thought the show was paced really weird and ended really weird, but there was a great promo in the middle of it with Gunther and Damian Priest finally squaring off. So here's what that sounded like.
I recognize your hardship, and I'm not gonna question your street credibility, but let's be honest. Being on the street is a choice, come on. While you were apparently fighting for your life on the streets, I received calls from WWE begging me to sign a contract with them. And the reason why they were begging me is to avoid that people like you get in the position to call themselves World Heavyweight Champion. There's one thing I don't understand either. I do not understand why all those people here don't love you to death, because they are just like you. Whatever you're going to achieve in life, you are and you always will be street trash.
It's the same reason you're gonna lose to me at SummerSlam. It's because you don't have any heart. You don't know what it feels like to have to fight for everything you have. Gunther, at SummerSlam, I'm gonna remain El Campeón. And for the first time in your life, you're gonna have to fight from the bottom because you will have absolutely nothing.
About time these guys started interacting because Gunther was excellent here.
Yeah, I feel like what they want for him right now is because, we're now in a post heel Roman Reigns world. They want Gunther to be like the next person at that level, which I think I would say he is at this point. But because they want him at that high of a, heel status, you then have to take the heel Damian Priest and flip flop it to where he is like the shining, like scrappy underdog street baby face for this confrontation.
Like the Damian Priest that was with Bad Bunny type of situation. Everybody loved that guy.
Yeah, it's felt like kind of a slow burn. Damian Priest face turn, like he's kind of just like he showed some face tendencies in his last program, and he's kind of disapproving of some of Judgment Day's antics. So I think this is a good way to fully turn him face. I was worried about this program. I said on the show multiple times that I didn't think Priest would retain his title or that Gunther was going to even win King of the Ring, because I just didn't see this match happening. And then once it was announced, I was really curious of how they were actually going to build the match, because I was worried they were just going to be like, yep, they're facing, and have really no build to it. But this I thought was really well done. It's a good spin to put on it.
You mean AEW style booking?
Kind of.
These motherfuckers is fighting. That's what it is.
I mean, but Damian Priest, they've been planting seeds for a face turn since WrestleMania. Like, he won in a shitty way, but the next night he immediately became like fighting champion who wants to prove himself.
Right.
And that's the babyface thing. So I think it's wise. He's going to lose and then get into the program with Judgment Day, I would assume.
I'm worried about that. Turn. I guess unless he gets screwed, but like I'm worried about the outcome here, because this story, at least the way they built this promo, is very reminiscent to me of Triple H Booker T from WrestleMania 19.
Because Gunther was kind of like problematic in the promo.
A little bit, but being just like, you don't belong here, you're street trash. Like, that's pretty similar to what Triple H was saying to Booker T. And that match ended with Booker T losing clean, and it was one of the worst booking decisions ever. And I'm worried that that's what's going to happen to Priest here.
But at that time, Triple H had to beat all WCW's favorites. So, I mean, that's totally.
Yeah. I don't know. But I also want Gunther's crowning moment to not be, tainted, if you will, by any outside interference or anything like that. So,
yeah, I think it's a post-match beatdown.
Yeah.
Right.
I believe it'll all be fair. I believe that's what probably will lead to the post-match beatdown. Priest will scold them all in the back. Hey, don't come your ass out here, yada, yada, yada. They don't. He loses. They come out, beat him up.
Yeah, and they'll probably do one of those. They'll do one of those generic, let's show them that the Judgment Day is still a family promo backstage. Probably.
And Priest want him to fight from the bottom.
I don't think there's any possible way that Gunther loses this match. He earned it. He's just going to win.
Yeah.
He hasn't been doing anything since King of the Ring. He hasn't really done anything other than win King of the Ring since losing the Intercontinental title. He's wildly protected, and they wouldn't throw it away on a Priest win.
Yeah, I there's no doubt in my mind that Gunther is not going to walk out of here not the champion.
So the question becomes, sorry.
No, go ahead.
How long do you think he holds on to that belt after he wins? Seeing as how he is, the longest reign. He's coming off of being the longest reigning IC champion.
I think they haven't thought that out.
I think 10 years.
Yeah, he needs to break the record now.
Yeah.
I think he holds it for 10 years. I'm not kidding.
Well,
he held the UK title forever. He held the IC title forever. Broke both those records.
Also, that the mentioning the UK title, they played that video package when they referenced Fat Gunther in UK, they showed that footage, and then kind of showed...
Nothing makes me want to cheer him more than when they show Fat Gunther and then his scrawny ass next to it, being like, "Look at all I've accomplished." This dude's done a fuck ton of stuff in that time.
But also, there was something. I just feel like the Fat Gunther slaps had a little bit more oomph to him. You know what I mean?
He had more weight behind his arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sound reverberated differently.
Yeah, I guess Damian Priest losing won't be as hurtful as the Booker T loss that I referenced earlier, as long as the match is just produced well enough where they got to protect Priest. He's got to have a really good showing. Maybe, Judgment Day comes out, he shoos them away. And then, I think he can still take the loss, take the beat down after the match. And then obviously he just needs to come out on top against Finn Balor. So as long as they follow up well, I think it'll be good for both guys.
I think the follow-up is, at least for the Judgment Day stuff, is probably I think they've had that written for a year and they've just been tweaking it and making adjustments for a year, because they teased this at December that they were going to split up, and then they changed their mind. So
kind of go back and touch on that question again. If Gunther wins, and I believe he will, I think he holds it till Mania.
You have to tease a Gunther Roman match. When Gunther's been champion for a long time. Yeah. Be like, I can beat your record for sure. You can set that up, though it's probably not. I don't know what they're going to do with Roman.
Word on the street is that he's returning at SummerSlam, right?
Yeah, I mean,
at least that's the
if you watch the program, that's what's happening.
True.
Yeah.
I love when these fucking wrestling journalists are like, "Ooh, this is happening." It's like, yeah, I watched the fucking show, dude. They speculate about it.
Get that Tungaloa guy out of there, though.
It's funny. Not intentionally so, but
I don't
makes for good gifts,
I guess.
Well, other thing on Raw, they did the Drew McIntyre segment where he's suspended, but Adam Pearce is like, I'll talk to him, see if he wants to be a good boy, and then unsuspend him so we can get CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam.
I kind of hated this. Like,
did you?
I hate the trope of like, all you need to do is say sorry, and he doesn't say sorry. Like, come on, like, are you stupid? Like,
yeah, he's prideful.
Just say sorry.
He is stupid.
Just say sorry. Like,
he's not sorry though.
You don't have to mean it. Just like, it just, I don't know. It makes Drew McIntyre look stupid that he won't even say the word sorry.
The fact that they teased Punk and Drew at SummerSlam makes me think that's absolutely happening now.
You gotta think so, right?
Like you wouldn't say that if it wasn't a high probability.
The only thing I was a little worried though when Seth Rollins came out and they started brawling, I was kind of like, oh man, if Punk's not cleared, they're probably just gonna do Drew and Seth at SummerSlam.
I mean, what is Seth doing at SummerSlam?
Good question.
But if Punk's not cleared, Drew's suspended, so like, who cares?
Interesting.
They
should do Drew McIntyre versus Adam Pearce.
I mean, they should.
I will say that is something I really appreciate about this, the current era of WWE is how involved the general managers feel. I mean, obviously, it feels a lot like how William Regal felt in NXT. I think that's just something that is important to Triple H, I guess, is having like a sense that the general managers are like struggling to keep, peace amongst the backstage of the company. You know what I mean?
I think it helps that they're also not like old washed up legends or women who can't get physical in segments unless Stephanie McMahon's slapping somebody. Like,
Right.
It helps that these are both guys that if they had to put wrestling boots on, they could.
Yeah.
Also, both of these guys, former NWA world champions.
Who, Nick Aldis?
Yes, and Adam Pearce.
And Adam Pearce.
And Adam Pearce, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a little worried. I don't know. I hope Punk's cleared. I hope we get that match. But you're right. What does Seth Rollins do at SummerSlam?
I have an idea.
Okay.
Do you want a really cool segment, or do you want Seth
Cena.
Rollins not on the show?
Cena. Give him Cena.
No.
A really cool segment.
Seth Rollins should come out and say he's going to do an open challenge, and there's only one man he wants to face, and then he should
His
say
name.
Put that man on SummerSlam and do Seth Rollins and Joe Hendry.
Hey,
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
after this recent NXT freaking, appearance, he did do another tweet saying any show, emphasizing any show that he can appear on. So, I mean, hey, it's up. It's in the air.
I want to see a stadium-sized crowd waving their hands from side to side.
I do wonder, like, I think it would get over huge at SummerSlam, but I think my worry is that they fuck it up before this, but the Royal Rumble pop will be absolutely insane. And I think if you do him, and this would be fantasy booking, but if he were to show up at SummerSlam, which he's not, you can't put him on TV until the Royal Rumble then.
Yeah.
But then what was the point of putting him at SummerSlam then?
Seth Rollins got nothing to do.
No, that's not. We're not doing. That's not happening. That's insane fantasy booking.
I'm trying to help Seth Rollins here. He needs something to do. You want him to fight one of the Wyatts?
There's something to that.
I don't
No,
want that, though.
I bet we're probably getting Creed brothers and Gable versus like three of those fucking masked people. Loomis and Rowan and the other guy, Casey.
Yeah, that's true.
So like, it looks like from, I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't been watching all those tape segments with the Wyatt things or whatever, but have
You're
they
not missing anything?
Yeah, well, yeah, I know they did the one with Bo. I know they did the one with Eric. Do you think they're gonna do one with Nikki and freaking
I think
Loomis?
you have to. I mean, we'll talk about
What?
that after the break, but
Okay.
like I have a whole
Yeah.
thing for that.
Okay.
So let's save that conversation in a minute. Do you guys? I
And
know,
that's
Cody,
what we
you
call
hate
a
it.
tease in the biz.
that's a tease. It would have been great if B-Rob didn't skip over the next thing I wanted to talk about. We could have just gone straight to break. But
Tease
and it is
nuts.
tape. I could just edit this and nobody would know, but I'm not going to do it. Cody, you hate Sheamus's new music.
I do. They fucking Def Rebel.
I love it.
I just don't understand. Like, what was the point? Everyone was happy that Too Many Limes was brought back. And...
But it's a goofy song. It's a goofy ass song for goofy people to pop at.
It's a shameful
He's not Joe
thing.
Hendry, he's Sheamus.
Lobster head.
It's a good song.
Yeah, that song sucks.
And now this is just
I love
generic, like.
It's a little better than that. I would say it's above the level of the general level that Def Rebel operates at.
Def Rebel opened GarageBand and applied a Irish filter to whatever generic shit.
They're not on the level of Def Rebel.
What level is that? The fucking basement?
But yeah, it's fine.
I liked it because it made him seem more serious, and the lighting was like the production around his entrance.
Oh my god, so many lasers!
So much
lasers
better,
going crazy.
Lots of green lasers.
Well, shit is reflecting off his bright ass skin.
Yeah, they love doing that.
But also, Pete Dunne turned on him after the match.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was great because
they need to bring Pete Dunne back, like for real.
Tyler Bate is hurt, right? So that tag team's on the shelf now.
The tag team sucked too. Tyler Bate, like, such a goober.
I don't know. I thought they were fine, but I think Pete Dunne is much more interesting as a heel. And they're gonna have bangers. So
yeah, I think that'll be the best part. Is those guys are gonna kick the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
breaky.
Bangers and mash.
Do you think that makes the SummerSlam card? Because I think it should. I think that would be a great match.
I mean, why not?
Decked out in fur again.
You think you'll have the fur?
Probably.
Yeah.
I wish.
He will have the boots with the fur.
Commentary referred to him as the Broserweight.
It's the Bruiserweight.
Or the
his
Bruiserweight.
Bro is gone.
Sorry. Yeah, his bro doesn't work there anymore. I'm just so used to. I was first introduced to Pete Dunne in the Broserweight. What was their tag title? Their tag team?
Broserweights.
The Broserweights. Yeah. I was introduced to them as
Bro,
the
and he's the Bruiserweight.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that guy's not here anymore, though. We don't have to talk about him.
Well, now we can do that break that I was talking about earlier. When we come back, there's more stuff on Raw. They did a lot of things. We're going to talk about Dominic apologizing to Rhea Ripley all episode, the main event between Sami Zayn and Ilya Dragunov, and I think we're going to spend a lot of time on the Wyatt 6.
Introducing the newest show from Fatal 4 Podcast, it's Didn't Get All of It Japan. Spinning off from the Didn't Get All of It podcast, we bring you a look at the most important happenings to come out of the world of Japanese pro wrestling. That's right, a podcast about a niche subject in 2024. Who would ever think of such a thing?
Make your podcast feed in Gobre Nabare with wrestling talk covering all the biggest happenings on the Japanese wrestling calendar.
I'm Kaz, first-time podcast host, amateur cook. I'm both a lover and a fighter. You might say I love wrestling and romance.
I'm B-Rob, veteran podcaster, but a young lion in my fandom of Japanese professional wrestling.
I'm Will. I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Subscribe and make us part of your regular podcast listening and stay up to date with matters of the world of Japanese professional wrestling.
Available wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to us on Patreon at patreon.com/fatal4pod for only $3 a month to support the show, get ad-free episodes, and join the community in our Discord channel.
Follow us on your favorite social platforms at Fatal4Pod. That's Fatal F-O-U-R Pod for updates. We'll see you on the King's Road.
Hey, if they put Dominic Dijak, whatever his name is, Dijak, if they put Dijak and Rhea Ripley together, their tag team name would be Diarrhea.
Feast your eyes, indeed.
Feces your eyes.
And we're back to continue talking about an eventful episode of WWE Monday Night Raw, which kicked off actually with Rhea Ripley making an appearance after her big return in the previous episode, which I wasn't here to talk about the week that happened, but boy, was that exciting. Like, even I wasn't able to watch it live, but I watched it after the fact on the Hulu cut. And even after having seen the clips on Twitter, I was still like popping off in my seat, watching it happen, watching it unfold.
This guy was popping off in his seat.
Popping off, Rhea Ripley.
This guy's about to pop off.
It's about to pop off.
I watched it a couple times too, because I was out of town, and I think I was at a bar when it was airing, and then I was like scrolling my phone and turned to my wife. I'm like, oh shit, stuff happened on Raw. Look.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting things to happen.
Big important stuff. Which, yeah, so Rhea's back. Dom is scared, is trying to apologize to her.
He's really perfected the Eddie Guerrero Latino Heat look.
Yes, yeah, that mullet is perfectly sculpted, mustache and all.
I enjoyed him carrying around the black rose.
Yes, I love the black rose. Got it right from Hot Topic on the way there.
Yeah, that sounds like a Chemical Romance album.
Yeah. And like all episode, like Rhea's just not having it. Dom tries to do like all sorts of gestures, filling her dressing room with black roses. She doesn't like that. She's throwing them around.
Hey, the comedy has gotten much better in this program.
It has. Every
she
time
kicks him out of the locker room, and Damian Priest is like, "Wow, you're really fucked up." And he's like, "No, things are going good."
Yeah.
And then the door swings open, and she throws the roses at him. It's like, it's basic rom-com shit, but it's for WWE standards, excellent.
And also
highbrow comedy.
Also, Carlito's there to put a button on
on
almost every scene.
It's the best thing he's done since
which
he
is
returned.
good. Also, the thing that happened last week when Liv and Dom were preparing for their match, and Liv was like stretching them out, and the way that the Judgment Day show up by like Finn and JD both kind of like poke their heads out very cartoonishly from the corner, just really got me. They're very animated lately, which I am yes, I am enjoying. But what was the
big payoff was at the end when he was like mad at Jey Uso for trying to get with Rhea, which is a callback.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they did that like a couple months ago. He mentioned having the hots for mommy.
Right.
He went to like fight for her honor because like she's his girl, and that pissed her off even more.
Yeah.
And then later, after he got his ass beat, she's like, "I'm not yours, you're mine."
It was when she said that,
leading to the ladder match, folks. It's happening.
It was hell yeah. It was when she said that made me think, is there like a whole generation of kids that are having some kind of awakening right now?
It's possible.
Like, oh, I wish I was Dominic Mysterio right now.
I mean, as an adult, who among us?
Yeah, this is the Lady Dimitrescu, but for wrestling. Is what's happening right now. Resident Evil.
I don't know what that means.
I'm talking about.
Is that a Gen Z thing?
that's the tall lady from Resident Evil Village.
That's the big lady.
Yeah, vampire lady.
Okay.
Really, Rhea Ripley if she was wearing a hat.
That's Riz.
Riz and mommy and eating, right? No, mother.
She's serving and eating and rizzing and aesthetic and aura.
They all have aura.
They fucked up. Who knows?
But yes, this is all. This I would say this is probably the most entertaining story right now.
I mean, it's reason to tune in.
Yeah,
the rest of the show is gonna have stuff around this story.
Yeah, no, it's not to like downplay the other stuff that is happening. There is other very good, very compelling stuff happening in WWE programming right now. But this is the one that like I'm tuning in every week to see the updates on.
Remember when people were like, it's just the Judgment Day show because every episode was exactly the same?
Yeah. Remember the memes of like people talking and then Judgment Day music hits?
Yeah, they should do that a few more times.
They really should.
Honestly, after they split up, they should do a big like breakup, and then in like a year or two down the line, they should set up a way for them to get back together and do that meme.
Yes.
Like when DX got back together after breaking up a long time ago. Like just spend a whole episode putting the Judgment Day back together for one night only. And someone be out there talking, saying, you probably don't have any friends, and the music hits. And they do the spin around at the camera angle. This is free. Everything that all my fantasy booking on this show is free. Anybody at WWE can have it as long as they get one of the commentators to say somebody didn't get all of it. That's all I ask.
It's a transaction.
I would prefer if it was Pat McAfee for once. That would be nice. I'm tired of Booker T. A Pat McAfee call.
Well, yes, I am tired of Booker T.
B-Rob also hates Booker T.
But yeah, so that happened. There was also the main event of the episode was Sammy and versus Ilya.
This was so disappointing.
It was weird.
I'm glad I didn't watch it.
I thought
they hyped it up, and I was really excited because both guys are really good. And I think part of it is they didn't want to go all ham because of how the finish was going to be. But this also should not have been the main event of this program.
Yeah, a weird miss for I feel like this was not the strongest way to close the episode.
I think they like ending on matches, but if it were me, I probably would have ended with the Gunther promo.
Yeah,
I like that.
I mean,
because they did have a brawl at the end. We didn't talk about that, but they did brawl like right after. You could have ended the show with Priest laying him out.
Yeah, Braun and Braun were there, right?
Yeah, because it led into Braun.
That's right.
Strowman versus Damian Priest.
Yeah,
which would have been a bigger main event than this. Like this, I know a lot of people on this show like Braun Breaker, but you're not closing the show with Braun Breaker.
Why not?
Not yet. It just felt flat, like especially because this has been a mid-card thing the whole time. And yes, I understand you got to elevate people, but they didn't do anything new here either. He just did the run around the ring and speared somebody again.
Which I still think that they should have had Braun Strowman come out earlier, and then Braun Breaker shows up, and then they both choo-choo each other around the ring, and then go to commercial break, and then when they come back, they're still choo-chooing around the ring. That's what I would have done.
No, I think they have to do one where they both go opposite directions, and then they crash into each other, but like, which one of them survived?
Yeah. Which one is the immovable object?
Yeah. Like the idea of Braun Breaker running around the ring and crashing into Braun Strowman and Braun Strowman not falling down is very funny to me.
So that's the thing, is that like Braun Strowman is like really big. I mean, he's obviously, the immovable object in that scenario, but I feel like Braun Breaker is definitely an unstoppable force in the way and with the force that he spears dudes with and the speed that he runs around that ring.
I want somebody to be at ringside and they do what Paul said. They both go opposite directions and they meet in the middle and they just like squish a guy in half.
Oh God.
They should be a tag team. The Brawns.
Braun and Braun.
The Braun
Braun
James.
Squares. Funny boys. They're paper towels. They bring paper towels to the ring.
Because
they trumpet Puerto Rico?
Yeah, they're brawny.
They're brawny strong.
Yeah.
That's the tag title. The tag team title name. Brawny Strong. Other thing that happened on this show was some more spooky developments in the world of the Wyatt Six, which Gable was out there.
Yeah, Gable had figured out. That was the best part. He goes up to the Alpha Academy and he's like, guys, I figured it out. It's Bo Dallas. And they're like, yeah, we all fucking know. We watched the program.
That was a very good bit.
Also, Otis in a very heavy machinery-esque attire, I would say. This
He's
like
going back to his old place.
Working man button-down shirt with the sleeveless kind of thing. I'm liking that. But yeah, so Chad Gable goes out there. The Wyatt Six show up, or it's Bo Dallas shows up, right?
Bo Dallas, because he wants to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah,
I have a lot of thoughts on this actually. So let's catch people up. This is what happened with the call out and this week's tape.
What are you laughing at? What is so funny, Bo? What is so funny? What are you laughing? There you are. Yeah.
How have you been?
I'm not gonna lie, the last few years have been very, very hard. You know, I used to have a family. We were unstoppable, inseparable, always had each other's backs. And then one day, just the whole world changed. I lost a brother. The person in this world who believed in me more than anybody else, just gone. It knocked me on my ass, I'm not gonna lie. My other brother, he was gone too. Which meant I had no more family, no more will, nothing. I fell down a well. I couldn't get out. I didn't want to get out. Why? Why would I want to get out? I felt catatonic. I couldn't move, numb to everything, numb to the world. And who's gonna miss me? I'm just Rowan. At my lowest. And you reached out to me and he pulled me up. When I saw your hand, I accepted it. Because I knew I needed it. I knew I needed help. And I got up and now I had a purpose. A purpose in my life. A purpose to help those like myself. We're gonna take our broken hearts and make some beautiful art.
Yo.
So I don't know what the fuck he said at the end there.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
Make some beautiful art.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That shit kind of got me, man.
It was so good.
That's what I've been seeing a lot. Is it's effective in that he's just telling the truth.
Yeah,
and yeah, of course it's gonna get people because it's real. My thing is, these should have been the things before they murdered everybody. And then proceeded to do nothing. Like when they'd flash a QR code and you'd scan it, they'd take you to some dumb shit website with some static on it. They should have taken you to websites where Eric Rowan talking and explaining that he's coming. Like, just show people this stuff. Because now they've done the murder and then have followed it up with next to nothing other than these little sit-down interviews where everyone's sad, justifiably so. But it just seems like an extra weird follow-up.
Yeah, I agree with that. They yeah, it's real. This is the first time I think I've ever heard Eric Rowan talk. He's a pretty good talker. That's all fine, but it's still incredibly boring. I don't care.
And that was also the thing that I was going to ask about before we went to break is like, now you're going to get Dexter Lumis, who's been historically in this company, mute, talking?
That's a
what
good
is he going to talk
question.
About? Is he going to be upset about Johnny Gargano?
Probably.
About how mean his wife is now.
Oh yeah, maybe.
He's going to go on there and be like, my wife hits me.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's an attachment to the Wyatts that I don't know about between Dexter and the smiley guy. What's his name?
Joe Gacy.
Joe Gacy.
I don't know what it is. Maybe they'll tell us.
I think it's all just going to be they've all lost family. That's all it's going to be.
He lost the way.
Loomis lost the way, and Joe Gacy lost the whatever the fuck.
He's absolutely going to say, "I lost my way." He's going to say, "I lost my way" in a promo, and everyone on Twitter is going to be like, "Do you get it? It's so deep."
And then Nikki Cross
and
lost.
I'm going to be that guy. Hi, I'm Guy on Twitter.
Sanity.
She lost. Yeah, I guess Sanity, or I was going to say Alexa.
Oh yeah, she lost her sanity. Okay,
Yeah.
we just fantasy booked the shit out of this. This is great.
No, it's actually.
Can't wait to get you on Twitter and be like, "Do you get it?"
Also,
it's
men
simple,
will literally just wear rabbit masks and carry around giant hammers instead of go to therapy.
Yep, and make beautiful art, says Eric Rowan.
Yeah. So Dexter lost his way, and Nikki lost her sanity, and Joe Gacy is mad at The Rock's daughter.
He lost his smile.
Whatever.
Oh wait, that's someone else.
That was Shawn Michaels.
Yeah,
that one's gonna be the toughest one to pull off, I think. But
he lost the schism.
Yeah, I don't think this is as cool as people think it is. I know wrestling fans love it when they turn the lights off and turn them back on, and there's spooky people there.
Yeah,
not hard to.
It's like peekaboo,
but
yeah, like I said,
peekaboo.
I mean, this shit.
More into it.
Yeah, I mean, this shit looks cool as fuck, but it's not. Like I said, it's not sustainable. I mean, if
nothing's happening,
like, they still haven't addressed why they. Why did they attack? They didn't explain why they attacked the table at all.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. It's just you have this all powerful group, but they're not gonna beat everybody, and they're not gonna take all the titles. They're not gonna hold the program hostage. They're just gonna do cosplay and nothing.
I don't know, but
that's the thing though. They also did the thing where Bo Dallas was getting hurt.
Oh, like where? Yeah, like they were beating up Bo Dallas, and he was just laughing it off. That thing.
Yeah. That stinks.
Well, I enjoy the like week to week terrifying of Chad Gable, of just like Chad Gable being tormented by these spooky guys. And I just for the tweet of like, the updates on everyone else's story, and then Chad Gable's story is just he's wandering through Silent Hill. Just like, what's happening? Why is this happening to me?
Yeah, they're targeting him because he stopped saying thank you.
Yeah, that's right. But I don't know.
If the whole point of the Wyatt Six is to get people to say their P's and Q's,
I don't know. I really, really liked this Eric Rowan promo video. Obviously it was very, very emotional, very real place coming from. So yeah, like we were saying earlier, that just makes me really curious and excited to see what everyone else is going to be. And I'm assuming that'll be on a weekly basis, these, character updates. So excited for the next one.
That's all they fucking do.
It's for now. But I think we've covered most of the important stuff from Raw, right? So I think it's about time we take another break.
Yeah, we can finally talk about AEW Dynamite. Didn't get all of it and want more of it? Support the show and sign up for the Patreon. For only $3 a month, you'll get exclusive access to Fatal 4 Podcast's Discord, where we hang out all week, chatting all things wrestling, video games, and who knows what. Plus, ad-free episodes of Didn't Get All of It and bonus content that you can't find anywhere else, like extra podcasts from the Fatal 4 and pilot episodes of new shows coming to the Fatal 4 Podcast Network. Your $3 goes a long way in helping keep the show going, so sign up today. That's patreon.com/Fatal4Pod.
Welcome back to Didn't Get All of It. Thanks for sticking around this far into the show. You made it through all the WWE talk. Now we're going to talk about All Elite Wrestling. Big milestone this week for AEW, as they had their 250th episode of Dynamite, which Are we almost going to surpass the number of episodes of Nitro?
I think so at this point, right?
I figured Nitro was on longer than that, but it was actually pretty short-lived.
It was 288.
Almost there.
Getting close.
Yeah. Very close.
Because we're at 5 years, right? They had their 5-year anniversary. Or no, we're going to have the 5-year anniversary this year? I think so.
Didn't they pass Thunder?
Yeah, well, yeah, because Thunder debuted in 99, right?
Yeah, Thunder, there was only 156 episodes. We're well past that.
But they'll never pass Impact.
I think Impact might somehow outlive like Monday Night Raw even.
The apocalypse could happen, and Impact will still be airing.
Yeah, cockroaches will be doing Irish whips.
Honestly, Apocalypse sounds like another AEW show that they're going to somehow squeeze into the weekends that we won't watch. But we did watch Dynamite. Like I said, big milestone episode. A pretty stacked card going into the night. It was advertised that it would start with MJF versus Will Ospreay for the AEW International Championship. And it did start with it, and it almost ended with it too, because this match did not stop matching.
Yeah, these boys are very excited that Wicked is coming to theaters this fall because they did a Broadway.
I see
That
what
was the joke that I told in the Discord, and I'm happy to bring it here.
It was
I caught quite a bit of this
minutes?
match. It's 59:59.
Yeah,
because they almost went to the time limit. I caught a bit of this match, and most of the commentary in my house was, "These guys are still wrestling."
Yeah,
commentary. And they did a lot of stuff that would otherwise bother me, but for some reason it didn't in this match. Like the amount of finisher kickouts, but they weren't their finishers.
Yeah, it was other people's,
which I think was good. Like the Styles Clash stuff was great
on the apron, which was crazy.
That's the hardest part of the ring.
That's the
He
hardest.
also did it off the second rope.
I loved the Crossroads with the little wing
spot was
from
great.
Yeah,
Ospreay.
Like I hate finisher kickouts, especially when it's your own move. But if it's somebody else's move, you can't do it as good as them, so it's fine.
Yeah, and like I got off work at 7:00, had the audio playing so I can kind of listen to the commentary, and it lasted me from work all the way home, which is almost about 40 minutes, for me to get in the house, take a shower, fix a plate of food, and this match was still going on.
Yep. And
Crazy.
the crowd was so into it too. Like the crowd was fully bought in on, the recent heel turn of MJF. Like MJF, getting up to his heel tactics in the match, and just a chorus of boos to, every little thing he did it's working.
Mm-hmm.
This match kind of had everything in it. Like, I feel like anybody who's a wrestling fan could sit and watch this match, and maybe they wouldn't like it in totality, but there's definitely parts of the match that you'll enjoy because it had, fast-paced, back and forth, like, almost choreographed
Trading
looking
pins.
Yeah, like spot fest type of thing, but they also had a lot of psychology with like working over the leg and Ospreay's shoulder having to get popped back into place, but it also had a bunch of brawling. Like I really enjoyed when they went out into the crowd.
Oh yeah, and that little girl started beating him up.
Yeah, and he stuck the finger at her.
That's so good.
It had, a high spot with the elbow drop through the table to the outside, which they kept like setting up for it and then not doing it.
That table was there for like half an hour. Yeah.
Right. But it worked because the crowd bit every time. It was like, oh. And then finally when they did it, huge pop. Like this had a little bit of everything. And I thought it was very well paced. Sure, I think it helped that I did not watch it live. I watched it today and was able to just skip through the commercials because I ain't squinting and watching picture in picture. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I think it was really well paced. Like Paul said, I agree. I had no problem with any of the kickouts. There was one point where Will Ospreay, there was a false finish. So again, I didn't watch this live. I knew, thanks to the internet, that MJF won this match. Spoiler alert. And I was watching that with that knowledge in my mind, and there was still a finisher kick out that I bid on. Like, I thought Will Ospreay won the match. So it really they did a good job of pulling me in and enthralling me, and I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah. And speaking of the finish, that was the other thing that I really liked, was that this match had a finish. Like, usually when they do these, 60-minute, time limit draws, it is that. It's like some kind of shenanigan or some kind of draw, and then there's, like a program after. But this was just it had a conclusion. MJF won, and he's the new champion. Like, that's such a refreshing change of pace for this kind of situation.
I like, the character work here as well. And like, especially toward the end, towards the conclusion, to where Will Ospreay was having that conversation with himself. Should I do the move?
Should I kill this man with the Tiger Driver?
Yeah, it was like a Two-Face moment or whatever. It was just like Harvey Dent talking to Two-Face. He's just like, well, all right, we're going to do this move. He's like, no, I'm not going to do this move. Yeah, and you can just see the dialogue, taking place in front of you and shit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought that was good. I know a lot of people will clown on stuff that's like, why am I so violent? But this is actually well done, because I think, that hesitation, Will Ospreay not willing to do that is what cost him the match, and MJF's willingness to
play dirty,
be a heel and play dirty, won him the match, and he, not care of his opponent's well-being. He pulled out the ring and he punched him in the face. Like, great hero villain story.
Yeah, and that was another thing too about the ring and everything. I didn't initially catch that, and even commentary was like, "Did he hit him with something? It looked like he had something on his hand." And then the camera was like right on the ring, big as day, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, so good, great match.
I feel like we might be in the minority on this one, because I've seen people bitching about this all day. But that is the perk of being on Twitter. Yeah.
Why?
People don't go to Twitter to say nice things.
Is the main complaint that it's too long? Is that?
I think people are just kind of sick of MJF and like his shtick.
I think he's
what I've gathered. I think it's fine. Like,
yeah,
it's good.
People just, I don't know, whatever.
They did a factory reset on him, and I think it's working.
Yeah, he's back to his old self before they got all that bloatware.
Yeah,
and this is the thing too. He's been like this historically. The most change that we've ever seen in MJF was like the Adam Cole stuff. I mean, this is historically been his career the whole time, even on the indies.
The same people that loved the MJF Adam Cole stuff are the people that love Lobster Head. Like, it's goofy shit for goofy people. And that's fine. There's a place for goofy shit in wrestling.
Lobster Head.
I like Lobster Head.
But it's
Lobster Head.
We just talked about it like an hour ago.
Oh, Sheamus's theme.
Okay.
It's a shameful thing, Lobster Head.
I just know the too many limes part.
Well, whatever. That was goofy shit. I'm glad that's over with. So if this is what he's doing now, I'm fine with it. Obviously, we said this last week, he was winning. So called it. I hate being that guy. Being a called it guy is so weird. What else happened on the show, though? They had an hour to kill after this match.
Right. Yeah, this took up most of the show, but there were some other, big developments on the show. I think it's worth talking about, because we spent a lot of time last week talking about the fallout of Mariah May and Toni Storm. The follow-up this week, I was glad Toni Storm was not on the show. The real Toni Storm was not on the show, because she should be selling that brutal beatdown from last week. But instead we got Toni Storm, or rather Mariah May, coming out dressed as Toni Storm.
I was really hoping that actual Toni Storm is going to come out looking like the Invisible Man.
Toni, yeah. Well, no, I wanted her to come out to be the old Tony Storm that Mariah May was cosplaying as before.
Oh, the 80s rocker.
That would
Tony
be
Storm.
great if she beat the fucking stupid gimmick out of her.
Yeah, that's what
Just
that's
came
what
back
I
and was
thought.
like a normal person.
Yeah, that's what I thought this whole thing was about, or whatever. It's just like she was the Tony Storm of old, the one that everybody liked, the one that got Tony Storm famous. Then she beat the shit out of her. She disappears. She come back, and
Wait,
there you go.
the one that made Tony Storm. I feel like she's never been more over than she is right now.
Well, how do you think she got in that position? She had to be, the way she was before to get there.
I will say though, Mariah May dressed as Tony Storm
Looked like Tony Storm.
I mean,
better.
it did the first time she did it,
Yeah.
but like the timeless Tony Storm look on her, like I literally thought it was her because
Yeah, had to do a double take.
I did not watch Dynamite live, but I was online and saw that clip of when Tony Schiavone was like, "Speak, bitch," and everyone was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!"
Yeah, everyone was very. Speaking of people being upset about stuff, people. Were
I was
very
like,
up in arms
whoa.
about that.
Well, that's the thing is I saw that clip out of context and I didn't look closely. I thought that was Tony Storm in the ring. And I was like, whoa, why is Tony Schiavone saying this about someone who's probably going to be a babyface now? Like, what is going on in that show? And then when I watched it today, I was like, okay, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
But
Still a bit aggro, but
yes,
makes
but at
sense.
least it's towards a character who,
Yeah.
did some horrible shit last week. So I thought her promo was good. She honestly does the Tony Storm, the timeless stuff better than Tony Storm does. But I think what they need to do is not. I think Tony Storm should, if they can get away with it, if they can do it, have her not even be on the show until Wembley.
And I'm still saying, have her come out like all bandaged up, looking like Universal Monster, the Invisible Man.
Yeah, that could be a good idea. To have her come out at her entrance, do it like that, and then she takes it off in the ring, and then just beats the shit out of Mariah May.
Yeah.
I don't know. They had a really good angle last week, and I'm glad they followed it up the right way this week. Let's see how they progress towards Wembley.
Again, this is the Judgment Day of this show. I think this is the one that everyone is tuning in to see regular updates on. This is like one of the best through line stories happening in AEW right now.
But it's not like a through line episode story. They have their 5-minute segment and they're gone.
Yeah, right. And that because AEW doesn't do through line stuff.
Yeah.
Everything is very compartmentalized.
I don't know. They
AEW.
kind of have been doing that with the EVPs lately. Kind of.
I would, if it were me, I would pick a different through line.
Yeah, you also have the through line of the fucking learning tree.
Oh, that's right. They do that too. God. That was the most deflating moment of the episode. Was they had the Broadway thing to kick off the show, and then immediately following that was the learning tree segment. It was like, okay, well, this is the come down after one of the best matches of the year.
Yeah, that segment sucked too. The learning tree, and then Suzuki coming out was just like, ugh. I don't care about any of these people. I don't want any of this on my TV screen right now.
I do love Suzuki though.
I was also watching it with my girlfriend, and when he came out, commentary was like, it's like the most violent man in pro wrestling. And she was like, that's the most violent man in pro wrestling.
No, he's a murder grandpa.
She was like, he looks so nice.
I think he is nice too.
He loves One Piece.
Yeah, he loves One Piece. Also, I'm just recycling bits from Discord at this point. But when he came out, I said Kaze Tree Nare.
I love that shit. You got a trophy for that. I gave you a trophy sticker.
Thank you.
Anyway, that was bad. But the other kind of, I guess, yeah, to counter what I just said, like there is a little bit of thread going through AEW right now, but it's not like the singular story of like Judgment Day and progressing through that throughout an episode. It's more of like they're building towards this multi-man match, so they're kind of forced to have multiple stories kind of merge onto one another.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little
into each other.
Yeah, so I think it's a little different, but either way, yes, blood and guts Blood and Guts is next week.
And
we were making our way towards that.
Making our way downtown, walking fast.
Yeah, it's 5-on-4. The Elite and Team AEW is security streaming in, trying to keep these athletes separated. Yeah, it's just wild here. It's Mark Briscoe throwing wild haymakers at Matthew Jackson. This is freaking nuts. The Young Bucks hiding behind the wall of security. Next week, Blood and Guts. My God, it's out of control now. Imagine when they put him in a cage. Not just one cage, Tony, but two. What the hell we got now? Well, the plot thickens. What a look. Darby Allin! It's Darby! Descending from the rafters. Jack Perry said, I'm coming for you, Darby. Well, here he is. As Team AEW found their fifth, it certainly would seem so. It feels that way. My God, Blood and Guts. Blood and Guts next week.
Man, get
Darby is
Shivani
so
out
cool.
of there, man.
Darby's the coolest.
Are you nuts? That was the best.
Yeah, what's wrong with
my God, look at what is going on.
It's great.
It's
You need
stupid
that.
as fuck.
Nah, that's a bad take, B-Rob.
No, it's not.
Darby's cool. That and his entrance theme, I think, is
Yeah.
the best in the entire company.
Yes.
Just that initial riff is like,
Well, it's also
It
by like
pops
an
every
actual
time.
band, you know?
It's best when it's an actual band.
but yeah. So the full Blood and Guts picture was developed on this episode. We will be seeing next week the Elite, consisting of Kazuchika Okada, Jack Perry, Matthew Jackson, Nicholas Jackson, and Hangman Adam Page, versus Team AEW, which is being captained by their world champion Swerve Strickland, alongside the ROH champion Mark Briscoe, Darby Allin, and then the Acclaimed.
I don't know how I
Come
feel
with a
about
better
that.
name.
Yeah, the Acclaimed is weird.
Yeah, the
Well, I mean,
Acclaim.
like- Team AEW is a weird name too.
What do you
It's
want
the
them
Elite versus everybody. So I mean,
Wouldn't the Elite be the AEW team?
no, because they're the Elite.
It's just like
Come up with a
NWO
better name.
versus WCW.
Sure.
I don't know.
Of course it is.
What do you want them to be called? The Swerve,
The Moguls.
the
The Mogul Embassy. Yes,
the Swerve Scissor
the Scissor
Chicken-
Swerves.
Chicken Coffin
Yeah.
people.
Put the word. You got to put the word team in front of it so people know.
Yeah.
Team
okay.
Scissor Flops.
Team Swerve Scissor Coffin Chicken.
You got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
The Susek Coffin Flops. There you go. Now, but seriously, this is two Sting references in one night, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah, 'cause
right.
He did the Britt Baker thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Britt Baker did the Sting mask spot.
Yeah, and Tony Schiavone yelled their names in the Sting way each time.
That's his thing, though. It's like Joey Styles not saying, "Oh my God."
But that's actually good.
Not really.
Anyways, I'm excited for Blood and Guts. Blood and Guts is always a spectacle, although it does make me nervous because it is responsible for one of the most infamous moments in AEW, which is
When Chris Jericho fell off the cage into the
Chris
the
Jericho
mattresses.
spot. Yeah.
Box of cardboard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's some good talent in this match.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
This
I
could
want
be
to
good.
see how Hangman and Swerve interact throughout.
Mhm.
I want to see how they follow up to the last time they had the Anarchy in the Arena with freaking Darby and goddamn Jack Perry. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. How much are Swerve and Hangman going to bleed? Is the question too. Are they
it's
going to
actually-
try and top each other, or is it going to be?
Yeah,
dude?
or is it like the blood? Is Swerve gonna drink Hangman's blood?
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
it's actually crazy that this is going to be Darby Allin's first Blood and Guts match too.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Damn.
really weird that they haven't used him yet. So, he's going to pull out some crazy shit. Does
Does he break out another flamethrower?
I think he's gonna. I legitimately think he might set himself on fire and then do a coffin flop off the top.
Oh my
of
God, flaming coffin.
Blood and catch.
Oh,
Blood and guts cage.
Oh.
He might do seppuku in the middle of the ring.
Look directly into the camera and be like, watch this, Cody. Oh my gosh.
I like B-Rob saying Japanese shit now that he has a Japanese podcast.
I know. Didn't I just tell our listeners earlier that Didn't Get All of It Japan is not in Japanese, and then you've been speaking Japanese half of the show? What's going on?
Hey,
somebody lie to the people.
Well, did we get all of it tonight?
I think we did.
I think that's
maybe for the first time. I feel like we talked more about. I think this is the most recappy show we've ever done.
Yeah, not a lot going on.
Well, there wasn't really much else to talk about besides what happened on the shows. So
yeah,
not a lot of news.
Yeah, crazy. Maybe next week we'll get some news that we can talk about. Yeah, next week we got Blood and Guts. SummerSlam's next weekend, right?
I think that's right.
No,
wait.
No.
It's the first weekend of August, right?
Yeah.
That's not next weekend?
No, we've got 4 weeks.
We're not there yet.
Almost there. Yeah. Stick around. We'll be talking about all the things next week.
Yeah,
maybe Smackdown will give us something to talk about.
You got Slammiversary this Saturday.
Well,
you got the G1.
We talk about important stuff.
Well, I mean, you got the G1 starting this weekend as well. So, I mean, if you want more information on that, a little bit of a breakdown, we will be doing a tape study here, kind of to lead you in and to prepare you for the G1. Just check us out. Just listen to us posting. And you don't listen to us in there. You could put voicemails, but like check out the Discord and whatnot if you're a part of it, which you can be a part of if you go to patreon.com/fatal4pod. You know, get in there for $3 a month. It's worth it.
Yeah, get in the Discord. It's awesome. The community's great. It's worth the $3 itself. Also worth noting, Didn't Get All of It Japan, not Patreon exclusive. You can get that wherever you get your podcasts as well. Just search for Didn't Get All of It and it'll surely pop up. But if you're using Apple, you can go to the Fatal 4 Pod channel and it should be there as well. So you can subscribe to both of us. So
please do.
Get the total package. Not that one, us. Patreon.com/fatal4pod to get the Discord, $3 a month. We need it for the show. It's very helpful. If you like the show, if you've been listening this whole time and you haven't left us a review on your podcast app, go do that. Those are very helpful, believe it or not. And what else? I think that's it.
Yeah, I would be genuinely thankful and curious about what comments that you can leave for Didn't Get All of It Japan. So put those out there.
Yeah, review all the things. Come back next week. We will see you then.